Hi, guys. It is Wednesday, July 30th. Um, Live. I hope you guys will just join me. Come on in. I wanted to just talk to you guys real quick because I remembered that I went sniffing about 2 weeks ago, like just going around trying to take in a couple things. And I wanted to talk about them. So after doing that, I actually was like, I think I want to add this to my wish list, but knowing good and well, I should not have a wish list. That is almost like something I'm putting to the past because I have everything that I need and more. But for, you know, shits and giggles. I just am keeping it on the forefront of my mind, and I think I'm gonna add it to my little notes wish list that I keep in my phone. So, um, one item I have about maybe four things that I want, that I smell that I was just like, I could use that in my collection, or I would really love to have it. So, the very first one that just kind of took me by surprise, by storm, when I got my nose on it, I was just so intrigued, so excited about it. So the very first one is Vulgari Sahar. Not sure if anybody is familiar with it, but this is Vulgari Sahar. Let's see it. While I was at the store, I was able to sniff Vulgari's kind of, I think this is their more exclusive line. I'm not quite sure, but it's not the as I've shown, it's not one of the fragrances in the sort of candy bottles, but it's in a black bottle. And all the fragrances in this line, I wish it would tell me what line it is from Vulgari, but they all are in these black bottles, and the top has a specific like stone to it. And so Vulgari Sahar really just took me by storm. I am a sweet floral girl. I do like rose. I don't like all rose, but this was a rose fragrance. Now I have enough rose for me, you, and your mama. Like, I am rose down, and I thought I was good. I thought I was good with some of my favorites like Fragrance du Bois Seren. I really like a nice rose, sweet jammy rose, a smoky one, ones that have cherry or lychee. Like, I'm all things um, rose with some kick. So Fragrance du Bois Seren, Kayali's cherry and rose fragrance. Their Floor Majesty, Kayali's Floor Majesty is amazing. The Delinas, all of them are amazing. So I really felt like me and Rose, we were good. I don't need to add any more. I do have Atomic Rose dupes. I have just enough of like really good rose, but for whatever reason, Sahar just came into my life and was like, hey, we're worth a sniff too. So I was able to smell it. I just really fell head over heels. Now, this one came out actually in 2024. I had no idea. And this fragrance is by Jan Vasner. I don't know how to pronounce the last name, but he is a perfumer with Givaudan, and he has done quite a few fragrances. um, with Arquise, one with Avon. This is the only one with Vulgari. He did Bad Boy Extreme. So I feel like I'm familiar with him to an extent, but not, I don't know him well. He's done a Donna Karen or two, Elizabeth Arden, Ex Nihilo. He did Citizen X and Nocturama with Ex Nihilo, Fluoride Cool. So he's done quite a bit. Let's go into the notes of this fragrance, and I'll tell you what I got from it and what I really like. Now, this is so interesting because this fragrance has notes that I did not expect, and kind of, Kari, hey, thanks for joining in. So this fragrance has notes of lemon and bergamot at the top. Taif rose is the rose that's used here with some black pepper. And the base, there's ambergris and myrrh. So this fragrance comes across like dark evening rose, which is what I kind of expect with a Taif rose. But I thought there would be so much more to this that makes it just have so much body and character. But there is this ambergris and myrrh. I really, with my step memory, I did not get the like citruses in the opening, but it's such a beautiful rose. And it, even while it may have the same, should I call it aesthetic? I don't want to call it the vibe. It is the vibe. It's sort of the aesthetic. But it still set itself apart a little bit from those other roses that I am just shook at the bit. So I am really wanting to add that one to my collection for sure. I smelt it maybe 2 or 3 times on this sniffing trip with my good girlfriend Michelle. We went sniffing, and on this trip I went and smelt it on my own and was like, so I got to smell the whole line, and then I had her smell it, and I came back and smelt it again. And so each time I just really was drawn to this fragrance, and I'm like, yeah. And I started trying to look it up to like see where I could buy it and how much it costs, but I didn't go too deep because Kia needs to wear the other stuff that's in the collection. But that fragrance is definitely on my wish list. I am excited about it. And the fact that it came out last year and I had no idea. I'm looking to see if fragrances from other fragrances from that line. So there was one called Amune, and it was a musky, like fresh type of fragrance, along the lines of the other fragrances in my Musk Girl era. Hey, Arlene. How are you? And Kari and Arlene, what are you guys wearing tonight? Let me know. So I guess this line was pretty recent, and I guess the line was pretty recent, as this Amune was actually launched in 2025. So I wonder how they must have came out with this line or expanded it. Le Gem collection. Because like I said, all of these come in black bottles with this like a gemstone on the top. So I wonder if they came out with this line all between last year and this year. I don't know. I'm gonna look up one more. I know Tiger came out and just kind of like everybody went crazy over Tiger. Nope. So Tiger was launched in 2016. Yeah, it's been around for a long while, actually. Almost 10 years. But Yeah, so I'm not sure about, I would have to look more into this line. Kari says he's trying out Mont Blanc Legend Blue tonight, and it smells like Percival. Ooh, nice. I like that. And I actually really like those Mont Blanc. Mamina, hey girl, hey. She says, I miss spending time with you guys. My schedule has changed, and I'm actually at work while writing this. Have a great shift. Scent of the day is 100 Silent Ways by Nishane. Just wanted to say hi. Hi, we miss you too. Watch a replay and drop some comments and let us hear from you. But again, enjoy work. Thank you for dropping by. Arlene says she had on BBW at the beach with Toomey Utopia. Okay. Again, I have not tried any of the Toomey fragrances, but I know So Avant-Garde was pushing them real hard. And that's why I actually heard about a lot of the Toomey fragrances. So yeah, Sahar is definitely on my wish list. And I just want to see what else Fragrantica is reporting about it, because I just decided in my head that it is amazing and that I need it. But I just wanted to see what other people have said about it. People are calling this unisex more than female or more female. They're put, like, most people voted it as a strongly unisex fragrance, and they say it's way overpriced. Wow. Okay. So then people were also comparing it to Lush's Sex Bomb. I haven't smelled Lush's Sex Bomb, but that's okay because I don't know. I know what my nose smelled and what I liked. I don't really feel the need to, like, they have nothing about Lush's Sex Bomb on here. Like, no notes, no accords, nothing. That's really weird. As if this page was created and not finished, or it was discontinued and they just don't have the information for it. It was launched in 2017. Anyway, yeah, I need to use the Lush fragrances that I have. So, but anyway, that is my take on Sahar. It is a beautiful, deep, full-bodied rose fragrance that I really want in my collection. So next on the list, which is weird because these fragrances, like, I haven't, these fragrances, or the one that I'm about to speak of, it's line of fragrances I haven't been into as much. I know that they're wildly popular, and what I'm talking about is Byredo fragrances, like the likes of Bal de Freak, Blanche, Mojave Ghost, and some others. But I was able to smell some of the Absolute fragrances, and I was just like, especially right now in the summertime where I'm looking for something more fresh, something more easygoing, because even right, like, I think I've told you guys this before, but right now, like, some heavier fragrances just really don't mesh well with my stomach, and it's like, oh, that's too much, that's too much. So I smell a couple of the Absolutes, but I think it's Blanche Absolute that I was really like, ooh, she smells perfect for my collection. So I'm not even that familiar with the Blanche, the OG, but I was really surprised by the Blanche Absolute. Let's take a look at what is given. So the one, they changed the bottles a little bit for the Absolute, which is good because that way we don't have to, like, confuse the Absolute with the OG. But I don't know. I don't know if I like it as much as the original bottles. So this is, again, musky aldehydic fresh ambery woody fragrance. Um, it was launched this year. And let's see what the notes are because it was just one of those. Hi, Liz. Hi, Liz. How are you? Yes, I saw this. So, oh my God, has this. Oh, so Kari is telling us that So Oh My God has a rolling 40% offer to me, and she got. Excuse me, so sorry, and he got three of them from them. Yes, they do. And they also, I think they have a 30% off sale going on. And the code was Santa Sun. Something about, like, I guess basically a sale during the summer. But Santa Sun is the code that I saw because I have to check back on there to see if they have another fragrance I was looking for. But Liz says she came at the wrong time because she's trying not to think about Blanche Absolute. Liz, what are your thoughts on it? I'm so sorry. I don't want you to think about it if you don't have to, because girl, it will be here for next summer, and it will probably be even better deals for it then. So we're good for the summer, right? And we could just wait. But I had just smelled it for the first time. I had never smelled Blanche the OG, but I did smell the Absolute, and I was like, she can go in my collection. Or, let's be a little bit better about thinking of acquiring these fragrances and just say, I can get a decant. I can definitely use a decant. Me and BDK's 312 Saint Honore are still going strong. The Kylie Jenner 2.0, we're all still going strong in terms of musky fragrances. But this one, I think, was really, really, really nice. There are notes of aldehydes, neroli, and black pepper at the top. Jasmine, violet, and rose are in the middle. And musk, and ambroxan, cashmeran, and cashmere wood are in the base. Liz says she's never smelled it, but she has a decant of the original and fell in love. So now she's thinking about how great the Absolute must smell. Yeah, it smells pretty good. It smells pretty good. I think out of the ones, I think maybe because I already am familiar a bit with Balderfreak, and I was already familiar with kind of like Mojave Ghost, and I was not as familiar with Blanche. That's the one that I was just like, ooh, kind of more drawn to because it was a little newer to me. But I do owe it to myself to get a decant because I would need to put it to the test against the other musky fragrances that I absolutely love, the ones I just named. So yeah. Did they give us a perfumer for this one, or Byredo doesn't disclose? I don't think so. But yeah, it was launched this year. So I was just, even though these notes sound they sound very unisex to me. Even though it has a strong floral mid, I just felt like the aldehydes and the neroli, the black pepper, it just smells better than what that's giving to me. Like it just smelled just very me right now in this musk girl era. So that has definitely been added to my wish list. And the last one that I am wanting to add to my wish list, and this is such a shock to me. It is a Montal fragrance. One that I have smelled before, one that I have dismissed before, but one that I was drawn to this time around when I went to go sniff. And I don't know why. It's so weird. So I was I was at a counter and a young lady was just like, oh, smell this one. Smell this one. And I was like, okay, I've smelled these before, or yeah, let me smell them to see if they are comparable to the dupes that I have. And so then she let me smell Sensual Instinct by Montel. And I was like, I really, really like this. I think before when I smelt it, it was in the lineup of Montals. And as I went down, there was so many that were so similar to each other. It was just off by one note or two. And it was almost turning me off because how many of these fragrances do you need? So Sensual Instinct for me, from what I remember, just kind of fell into the whole wanting to be Baccarat category. And so I just never paid it any mind. And it was just never on my radar. But that sniffing session, the young lady was like, here, try this one. And I was like, I've smelled it before, and I was like, I like this. And I will admit that I do like different iterations of Baccarat. Baccarat is just that girl. So anything layered, added, mixed, it's a hit. Now I feel like I don't need too many of them, of course, but yet and still, I still like them. Now looking at the notes, I'm like, hold on. Am I thinking how? Yeah, okay. So it does smell like Baccarat. Because at first I was looking at the notes like, wait a minute. At the top, there's coffee beans, praline rose. I'm thinking like, whoa, this isn't exactly what I remember smelling. But there is oak moss, amber, and cedar in the base. And everyone says with over 500 votes that it smells like Baccarat. So for whatever reason, I was really feeling Sensual Instinct. And I was like, I don't mind adding it to my Montal collection. Like, I feel like I have some good, solid Montal selections that I just love. And so I would not be opposed to adding that one. Let's see what you guys are saying. Listen, she knew it, I guess, in terms of the absolute smelling as good as she thinks it does. And she says she's in her Musk Girl, Iris Girl, White Floral era right now. I'm totally feeling that. I'm definitely in my Musk Girl era. It's just, I think it was something that I was not into for so long. And then now that the summer is here, and I need something easier, a little lighter, not as intense. So it's just my fragrance category of choice that I've really been into and feeling. What are your favorite iris and white floral fragrances at this moment? I would love to know. I have one iris fragrance that I have fragrances, of course, with iris in them, but there's one that I just identify as my iris fragrance of my collection that I absolutely love. But I'd like to know what yours are. Kari says, have I smelled anything from the Rose collection by Kirk Elliott? The musky rose will probably be something I'd like right now. I have not smelled anything from the Rose collection by Kirk Elliott. Since he's come back out, I have not gotten my hands on anything of any of his new stuff. I only have like a few things from his older collection. But I would definitely keep my eye out on that because, love supporting a brother. Baccarat is definitely their girl, right? Okay. So I told you guys which ones that I sniffed that I was thinking, oh my gosh, I need to add this to my wish list. Add it to the wish list. Not necessarily to the collection, but add it to my wish list. Maybe get a DK and just go from there. I do have to, this is honorable mention. I smelled the Dior collection, the private line. I'm not sure what it's called, but I was able to smell it like the Gris Dior Extrait. Is that what it's called? Greedy or? Because at first I was like, watery, floral, rosy. It just didn't quite work for me. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough for what I wanted. So it's overall a nice fragrance, just wasn't memorable for me. But then I smelled the extrait. Like they're coming out with these extraits, or I think that's what they called it for their line. And I really liked it. I was so shocked because I was like, okay, here we go to the Dior counter. Okay. All right, we're here. Whatever. But I really, really was shocked at the amount of things that I smelled and I liked. But I think it's really because now I just have this appreciation for lighter fragrances, not necessarily wanting something that's packing a whole punch, but able to smell fragrances for what they are and not, this is what I need, or these are my expectations for a fragrance, and just smelling it for what it is. And so Greedy or Straight was one that I remember for sure that I was like, I think I would get that. Or add it to the wish list, get a decant. I do want to talk about, have you guys smelled any of the extraits from Dior? Or yeah, if you have, let me know, because I'm curious. I'm curious to hear what you guys think. Okay, so then I also was like, what did I smell that I was like, you know what? I'm good. I don't think I need that one. I don't think I need that one. Which is, the first one is Existence by Amouage. I don't know. It just didn't grab me. I felt like the DNA smelled familiar. It smelled like something I kind of smelled from Amouage before. I know there were people that were saying there's a little bit of guidance in it or something of that sort. And I was just unsure. Maybe that's the right way to put it. It was just like, I'm unsure. I would definitely need a decant but in my mind, what I gathered was, and let me look up the notes of Existence too, because that may help me understand what my feelings were or what I thought I was smelling. So this fragrance is a Quentin Beige, came out 2025, we know. It does have some aldehydes. And then to me, it just has its signature, like frankincense, myrrh type of background note. And then I got some rose. And as soon as I say rose and aldehydes, the first thing that always comes to mind for me is Bubble Bath by Replica. And so for me, I was like, what if I took my Bubble Bath by Replica and added some fragrance that has a bit of, like it's kind of dominant with the myrrh, and put those together? Would I get Existence at home? Now, I haven't been able to really find that. I'm sorry. I keep feeling like my gloss is pooling in the corners of my mouth. But I was like, could I mix those and get Existence? I think so. I just haven't found the right myrrh-ish frankincense fragrance to pair with it. But I'm so curious to do that. I cannot wait to find a good one in my collection, because that's what I walked away from when I smell Existence. The notes in Existence are, at the top, there's Lily of the Valley, aldehydes, and rose. In the middle, there's frankincense, mystical. What's mystical? It's one of the molecular notes, but it says natural and synthetic, popular and weird. Ooh, that helps. um, it's in Her Confession, Blanche Bet, Existence, Amouage Purpose. Okay, so I probably wouldn't be able to pick that out, but Labdanum is in it. And then in the base, there's white musk, benzoin, and ambergris. Have you guys tried Existence? What are your thoughts on it? But right now, for me, I just remember like smelling something that smelled familiar. Familiar. I was like, I feel like I smell Replica's bubble bath in it because it's out the aldehydes, the rose, something a little soapy. So I'm excited to try to layer and see what I can get. But that was one that I kind of put off and was like, oh, it's not on my wish list. I don't need it. I know everybody's raving about it, but I guess I don't need it. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Liz tells us that she doesn't have a favorite iris fragrance right now, but she says, let me tell you, Mixed Spark Cloud 9 is phenomenal. It has iris and musk. Okay, awesome. I got a few mixed sparks, but I did not get Cloud 9 because at the time I was very averse to musk fragrances. But I bet that it's great. I do have a couple other musk fragrances that I need to pull out. So it'll probably be a while before I get my nose on the Cloud 9. But I believe you. I trust you that is an amazing one. And then Liz also says she's only smelled it once, but Decision smells really good. It kind of reminds me of a spa. Ooh, so is that an Amouage? I'm not sure that because I know that Existence came out with 2 others, I think. Oh yeah, okay, so it is. But I didn't pay the others any mind. I'm not sure why. Maybe Existence was the one that seemed like it would resonate the best with me. But I do see Decision is here. Another Quentin Biche, Canton Biche, with notes of bergamot, pink pepper, cardamom, frankincense, juniper berries, myrrh, vanilla, cedarwood, and patchouli. Oh, I will definitely, let me write that down because I might have to get my nose on that. Decisions. Okay. So that's good to know. That's good to know. So yeah, Existence was one that I was just like, hey Nika, thanks for joining in. I was just going over some fragrances that I have added to my wish lists and things that are not, that have I'm like, oh, you don't go on the wish list. I don't need a decant. And Existence is one. I don't quite remember. There were like 2 others that I was like, huh, okay, that's interesting. When we went sniffing, I think we were just overloaded with so much. Oh, it was just stuff like things from Tamin's line that I was just kind of like, I think that was really exciting at one time when it dropped, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh, I got to get my nose on it," and then I didn't. And I think it was one like Bravi that I smelled that I was just kind of like, oh, I don't need it. We smelled so much, but Existence from Amouage was one that stuck out because I was like, head over heels trying to get my nose on this fragrance, and I was like, maybe not. I smell Ex Nihilo Spiky Rose, and it was really nice, but I was kind of feeling like my rose of choice today is Sahar, clearly, because that one just really, the Vulgari Sahar just really like did it for me. So the Spiky Muse was like, it's nice, but I think I have my, kind of like watery floral rose of choice, and that's the La Rose. But those are some fragrances that I'm really feeling right now. And then, oh, let me see. Nika is asking what's topping my wish list. And it was the Harba Bulgari. And she says, yay, you finally got to try Existence. I did. But that's one that I might get a decant of. I just wasn't, it didn't move me in that way to be like, oh my gosh, I need. I love all things Amouage, new Amouage, but. And then she also says, did you test Bravio on the skin though? It's so creamy and gingery. It's on her wish list. Oh, that's good to hear. Creamy and gingery. That's something that I don't have. So I did not try it on skin. I had sample cards, like a stack. It had to be like this big. Y'all still see this purple from last night? It's still like, it will not come off my finger. I'm still scrubbing. Yeah, so there was very, I tried to save my real estate, my precious real estate for like ones that I knew that I needed to try on skin. But yeah, there was so many that we were smelling that day that I did not get to smell that on skin. It wasn't one of the ones that like I really was trying to smell that day. So I only tried it on the card. But, that's a good thing. The good thing for me in terms of like, don't just rush out and be so excited and I need to buy. Go back and smell it 2 or 3 times. Smell it on the card, smell it on the skin, and not just be so in the rush to buy. I think that is really what I need for myself, because I just do too much. Like, even adding these few fragrances to my wish list is like, why do you even have a wish list? Like, we've been through this enough times. There are fragrances that'll come out and I'm just like, but I have this profile already. Like, I have something similar. I have something that I prefer. Case in point, that daggone, I'm going to start talking about it and then forget. You guys, there's some Gourmand Escapade. Who was that made by? Mason Mataha. Woo! Mason Mataha. I got the one that they've been talking about lately. And yes, it is a beautiful fragrance, but it smells too close to 100 Silent Ways for me. Printemps Blanc. That's what it's called. Mason Mataha's Printemps Blanc. I was so pressed. Like, oh my God. Bought it. Girl, you did not need this. You have a whole bottle of 100 Silent Ways by Nichane. And it smells so close to me that I didn't need it. Now, others will justify why, like, it's better, why they like that more. That's fine. That's great. But for my collection, but I don't own any Mason Mataha, so I'm just like, okay, I'll live. It's not the end of the world. But yes, okay. So Bacciami, did I try it? So I have the dupes. I have the brown sugar babe oil. I did try it for all intents and purposes, I have it. Like, I'm good. It is really nice. But the Vulgari Sahar, it trumps Bacciami to me. And actually, Liz says she feels the same way. She's doing too much. Like, I just want to love on and wear my fragrances that I have. I feel like I am. I really do. I really feel like I'm doing a pretty good job. I've cut back a lot on just buying and trying to seek out the latest, because over the last few months, every time I buy something, it's so similar to something else that I already own. It has a similar profile and it's just not worth me having. So I feel like I have a collection that spans most profiles, that if anything else comes out, I could just layer a fragrance 2 or 3 and be good. So yeah. Liz also says that Bacciami is so good. It's sweet, creamy, and warm. She just loves it. She says, I know you didn't ask me, but it's one of my favorite fragrances. Love it. Doesn't Bacciami have ginger in it? I think it does. Let me check. Oh my goodness. My keyboard is impossible. So let's see. Nope, no ginger, just gardenia, vanilla, and amber. What trumps Bacciami for me is the Vulgari Sahar from the Le Gem collection. Like, if I was to like buy anything from Vulgari right now, it would be Sahar. Mainly because also, well, yeah, even if I didn't have Bacciami dupes and the oils and all that, I would probably still buy Sahar because I just like that profile better than the gardenia. But I think it's a different way that I smell gardenia, which I like about Bacciami. Liz also says that the BSB Kiss Me oil is good too. It is excellent. Like, it is so spot on to my dupe. So I absolutely love that. And I need to actually wear it some more. And Liz also says she's been buying more decants, which has been working out really well. Yeah. I've been talking about these, but I have La Bomba's decant. Yeah, I've been decanting it down. Limonada decant. Attar Alha Skin Musk decant. What else I got up here? I think these are the 3 that I've been keeping up here so far. Yeah. So this is me trying to be better about like sampling. All of these are really good. But for right now, even my Limonada, this is crazy. Can you see that? This is the travel size, and this is all I have used. It's really, 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 really nice, and I love it. So I think what it is that if I do a full wear, I'm scared I'm gonna use the whole thing. Generally, when I do a full wear of a travel size, I actually use about half. My La Vie Belle, I did a full wear. The Nude Vanille, I did a full wear, and it's at half. So I think if I was to wear this, it'll be at half. And I'm scared of like running out, but I need to, right? The Skin Attar, I haven't used this because I'm just not sure if I can wear it for like all day. So I'm kind of afraid. Like, I think it smells good, and I think it warms down and dries down a little better on the skin, but I'm just kind of afraid of that powdery aldehydic scent like all day long. So I've been cautious about wearing that. But the Vanille Nude is so cute. I like her. I like her a lot. Let's see, what else are you guys saying? Why does it keep doing that? Liz says, what do I think of the new Burberry Goddess flanker release? Okay, that is one I have not tried. I'm not even sure what releases after the Intense. I can look it up though. Oh, one that I did try, but I didn't talk about or get, or was the Prada Paradox, the one that has the pistachio in it. So it is, you smell the pistachio. It said nice profile. I'm just pistachioed out the yin yang. Like, I don't need anything else pistachio, even though it's all very tempting. But that Prada Paradox, I don't really need that one. Okay, so let's see. Liz, what's the new flanker release? I see. Is it the Goddess Parfum? It looks like it because it has raspberry, lavender, vanilla, and suede. Ooh, girl, I don't know. Did you try it? What do you think? Liz, tell us, because that is very interesting, especially to just add that suede and raspberry in there. I'm so. What do you think of it, Liz? Because that's a nice little twist to just throw in there. I'm gonna have to get my nose on that. Let me write that down. Burberry Goddess Parfum with raspberry. She says she ordered a decant. This is annoying. My lip gloss, that is. I ordered a decant. It's on the way. It was just released. Can't wait to hear about it. Okay, so I did order another decant that I'm waiting for. And because I'm always like 2 seconds, if something sounds weird enough, crazy enough, I'm like, let me be the judge if I like it or not. And I will, my old ways would just be like blind buy. But it was just so tricky that I was like, get a decant. So I finally decided, I have to back up. I finally purchased a decant of L'Exquisite by the House of Food, the one that has the banana nut bread or whatever that's in it. But in that experience, I also, y'all don't come for me, or judge me, please. But I did not know how to use my Shop Cash on the Shop app all of this time. Okay, so here's what happens. Because they would say there's all of these offers, like use your Shop Cash. If you do this, you'll save this much. And I'm just like, how do you find what you want and use the Shop Cash? They keep telling you it's going to run out or it's going to expire and you want to take advantage of the deals. I think my hesitation, so I realized one day when I was doing this, because I said I have about $12 that they keep talking about it's going to expire or what have you. Let me just buy the decant of L'Exquisite. And not until I got all the way through the checkout process did I see a little sliding button to use your cash or not. It was that simple. But I think why I've never gotten there is because I have been on certain sites and you have to be careful because you could accidentally check out. And that's happened to me on a couple of occasions. And I'm like, I don't do that anymore. Just put it in the basket and see what checkout is looking like. I stopped doing a lot of that because I have accidentally checked out on a couple of occasions. And I'm like, I don't have to My bank account can't handle all that. So I had just never done that. But this time, because it was like a smaller amount, I went ahead and did it. And then in reviewing the checkout page, I'm there. It is clear as day. Use shop cash with the sliding button, yes or no. And I'm just like, is that all this was? So I feel like I've lost out on so much shop cash just not knowing that, because I was too hesitant to go all the way to the checkout to see how it works. Hey Ty, good to see you. Thanks for joining in. Liz says it's happened to her too. It was devastating, girl. Yeah. Hi Ty. Hi Ty. The devastation is, y'all. So namely, I will tell y'all for sure, namely on the BSB site. Like I will be putting stuff in there and just trying to calculate and see if it'll take off this and blah, blah, blah. And boom, thank you for your order confirmation number. And I'm like, no, I did not need to order that. So that has happened to me. And so now I'm just leery, like, you got to be careful, especially with Shop App, because they already have all of your information. So it's easier to just check out without, but I'm used to like a confirmation page or something that's just like, are you sure you want to order, basically? And so that's why I think I've missed out on the Shop App deals and using my Shop App cash where I need to be using it, or I could have used it for some better, discount. So we live and we learn. We live and we learn. But yeah, God, oh my gosh. Liz, I cannot wait to see when you talk about or get your decant. But I'm going to get ready to go. I think we're about to have a little noise. So I will talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for joining. See you next time.